The object of today's game is to place all 10 of your chips on the game board faster than your opponent. As you do this, you'll become a master at multiplying by 4. To play the game, you will need 2 number cubes and 10 counters in 2 different colors. For this game, the player that is taller gets to go first. Here's how to play. Player 1 will roll the number cubes. Whatever number is rolled will be multiplied by 4. Since she rolled a 7, she will multiply 4 by 7. The product is 28, so she can place 1 chip on the number 28. Now it's player 2's turn. He will roll the number cubes. He rolled an 11, so he will multiply 11 by 4. His product is 44, so he can place 1 chip on the number 44. Back to player 1. Since she rolled a 5, she will multiply 4 by 5. The product is 20, so she can place 1 chip on the number 20. Now it's player 2's turn again. He rolled a 7, so he will multiply 7 by 4. His product is 28, so he can place 1 counter on the number 28. He sees an empty space with a 28 on it, and he sees another 28 that his opponent has already placed a counter on. He can either place it down on the empty space or bump his opponent's counter off the 28 and put his there instead. He decides to do this. Since the object of the game is to be the first player to get 10 counters on the game board, he wants to remove as many of his opponent's counters as possible. Now it's back to player 1 again. Since she rolled a 5, she will multiply 4 by 5. The product is 20. The only 20 space already has one of her counters on it. This is great though, because once a player has a stack of 2 counters on any space, it becomes locked and no other player can bump it off anymore. She stacks another counter on top of the first one and locks the space. Let's look at one more play. Player 2 rolled a 5, so he will multiply 5 by 4. His product is 20. As he looks at the game board, the only 20 he can find is one that's already locked, since it already has 2 of his opponent's counters on it. Since there is nowhere for him to place a counter, he loses his turn. The game keeps playing in this same way until the first player has a total of 10 chips on the game board. That player is the winner. If you ever forget how to play the game, re-watch the video to remind you of the rules. Before you play, why don't you practice with some flashcards? This will help make sure that you can play the game to the best of your ability. Are you ready? Get set, go! How do you feel about multiplying by 4s? If you feel like you got it down, go ahead and play the game. If you need a little more practice, just rewind it a bit and do the flashcards again. I bet you are going to do great. Have fun!